Everybody, and welcome to today's video. And in today's video, I'll be doing a 2024 election prediction between Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Marco Rubio. I'll get started by labeling all of AOC's safe states: Washington, California, Hawaii, DC, Maryland, Massachusetts, Vermont, New York, Maine's first, and Illinois. I think she would carry Maine's first safe. It could be likely. It could easily be likely. I'm actually just going to go to her likely. For Rubio safe states: Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, the Dakotas. So for Maine second, I think that Clinton only carried it likely, and she would be worse than Clinton. I think in Maine as well, she would do pretty bad. And yeah, those are all Rubio safe states. For AOC's likely states, I'm gonna give her Oregon, New Mexico, Colorado, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Delaware, New Jersey's lean. That's a joke. Rhode Island, and Virginia. So in Oregon, I think that Rubio would be pretty strong with a lot of these more moderate voters. Mexico and Colorado, Rubio is really strong with Hispanic and Latino vote, and probably able to keep them both likely. Virginia, he's better in the suburbs. AOC, I think would be pretty good in like these really liberal suburbs. But still, I am gonna have to give it to her likely. Delaware, Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island. Clinton all carry these likely except for Rhode Island, but I think it's gonna be close between likely and safe. And I just don't see AOC being able to overperform Clinton, especially against Rubio. For Rubio's likely states, I'm gonna give him Iowa, Ohio, Maine second, South Carolina, Florida, Texas, and Alaska. So in Iowa, AOC would just do so bad with the white rural vote. And Rubio, he probably wouldn't do as well as Trump would, but considering the fact that it's against AOC, he'll probably overperform Trump. Once again, he won't do as well as Trump, but he's against AOC, so he'd probably overperform Trump. In Ohio, it's another similar thing. She would just be so bad with the white working class. Rubio might overperform Trump, or might underperform Trump if he were against AOC, but he'd still probably overperform Trump in general. Same thing in Maine. Second, South Carolina, AOC's too weak, the white rural vote. Florida, she'd do so awfully in Miami. We could easily see Miami flip. Texas, she's just bad across the board. Probably maybe average in urban areas, but she'd do really bad with the white rural vote. Pretty bad in the suburbs, and then pretty bad with Hispanic and Latino vote. Well, in Alaska, we could see it be safe, just because Rubio do better with oil workers. But it's shifting. We're seeing more Native American turnout, and I don't see, the oil worker vote, being able to change that, or to be able to override that shift and shift it 5% to the left. For AOC's lean states, one, it's Nebraska second. It would be like a low lean, I think. I think it should do pretty average in the urban areas, but Rubio do much better in the suburbs. For Rubio's lean states, he has Arizona, North Carolina, Wisconsin, and that is it. So in Arizona, I think that he would do better in the suburbs, and AOC would do really poorly with the white rural vote and Hispanic and Latino vote. I'm giving it to Rubio by a lean margin. North Carolina, she'd do so bad at the working class and with the white rural vote. Probably pretty average in urban areas and probably pretty bad in the suburbs. Wisconsin, she would do poorly with the white working class. She'd do really bad there and do pretty average in like urban areas, but then do bad in the suburbs. So for AOC's tilt states, Minnesota and Maine. So in Minnesota, she's too weak to the white working class. Hillary Clinton hardly carried it. She'd do really bad in urban areas and do pretty bad in the suburbs as well. Or she not bad in urban areas. She'd do average in urban areas, but do really bad with the white rural vote, the white working class, and like these Midwestern farmer voters. And she'd probably do average in like Minneapolis, but then do pretty bad in the suburbs. And in Maine, the thing about Rubio is he's kind of like a product of like this Tea Party movement. From before Trump. I would say that Trump is also a product of it. But Rubio also, I'm just going to repeat myself over and over, also being a product of it, would kind of just naturally support Trump. But I think that, looking at this, I think that Rubio would do better. Because Trump carried it, or Trump lost it by like a few percentage points. Rubio will be able to do better with that white rural college educated vote, and you'd be able to carry a lot of moderates and even traditional and moderate Republicans that Trump was unable to carry. Like the thing about Rubio is he's not like incredibly moderate. Like I have it. I have oh, that's John Hoven. I have not based off seniority, based off ideology. I have over here vote view. I mean, we can go look at this. Rubio is one of the more conservative members of Congress. I mean, like, he's right behind. He's more conservative, so he's more liberal than James Lankford, but less conservative or more conservative than Steve Daines and Kelly Loeffler. All three of these, I think Loeffler, Daines, Lankford, I think Daines, voted, or were gonna at least, vote to, um, overturn the election results. So he is pretty far to the right. But we could see like Nancy Pelosi um end up voting for Rubio. Like someone like Pelosi is a great example of this. But I think that it would probably be a tilt margin in Maine. For AOC, I still think that she would narrowly carry it. For Rubio's tilt states, Nevada, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and New Hampshire. Nevada is AOC is 2 weak with the Hispanic and Latino vote, 2 weak with the white rural vote, and 2 weak with the suburban vote. She would just be bad all across the board. I mean, you could even see it be lean red. Georgia, she is 2 weak at the white rural vote. She'd probably do. I mean, she could do well in Atlanta's suburbs, but I think that she'd do pretty decent in Atlanta. But overall, Rubio would still probably do well there. Michigan and Pennsylvania. I mean, like they're fairly they're actually very working class. They have a lot of working class voters. AOC would do horrendous with them. Detroit, Pittsburgh are both working class cities. She'd do bad there, and she'd do really bad with the white rural vote. New Hampshire, I think she'd do bad with the white rural college or not bad with them. I think that this Rubio would probably be good. I mean, I don't necessarily know that he'd be as good as DeSantis would be, but Hillary Clinton barely carried it, and I think that Rubio has more moderate appeal than Trump. Which is why I'm going to give it to him still. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like below. Stay tuned for my next video tomorrow. I'm not certain what to do, so please comment your suggestions down below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye!